Just like every other thing ever built or created was first designed in the mind before being actualized into reality, the same goes for wealth. Wealth is first created in the mind. It is first built in one's imagination before it becomes a reality. Now, wealth is as predictable as success is. You can tell the people who will end up wealthy, average, or poor from the start. Hard work is not a very good determinant of wealth, especially from a young age or from one who's not working yet. It's usually the mentality of a person that tells whether he or she will end up wealthy, average, or poor. The ability to create wealth starts from the mind. One's perspective of wealth is a good place to start when predicting their chances of becoming wealthy. People's experience with wealthy people also affects the person's mentality of money depending on how good or bad the experience was. If the experience was a good and productive one, then the person will have a positive mentality about money and will want to become better financially. If the experience was a bad one, however, it gives the receiver a negative perspective about money, making the person despise wealth and financial success. This also affects the person's mentality. Here are 7 mentalities of the poor that keep them where they are. Number 1, rich people are greedy and unholy people. This mentality is the main problem of poor Christians today. Many of them think poverty is synonymous with piety and as a result choose poverty over wealth. They think being wealthy will stop them from serving God to the fullest or living holy, righteous lives in God. Because they see rich people as bad, unrighteous people, they never want to associate with them. Hence, they end up remaining poor and never living up to all that God made them be. Number 2, the blame game. Poor people are so good at playing the blame game. They never take responsibility for their wealth creation or their actions. To them, everyone else is at fault except them. The government, the system, their parents, their friends, their jobs, their colleagues, their bosses, everyone else except them. They do not hold themselves accountable for their actions, hence they never end up taking responsibility for their mistakes. They blame the government for not creating enough job opportunities for all, but they never end up using their creativity to start a business and join the private sector. They blame their teachers and the school system for not teaching them about life and all its demands, but they never pick up a book to read and gain knowledge on how to do better and become smarter in life. They blame their parents for not raising them right, but they never put in the effort or take up the responsibilities of becoming better adults. They blame everyone but themselves for their actions and its consequences. Number 3, they justify poverty. Poor people are so okay with staying poor that they say things like, it is better to be poor and happy than to be rich and sad. Yes, of course, money cannot buy everything. Money cannot stop death. However, they'd rather remain poor, justifying their poverty with every other lie or excuse they can think of. They use poverty as a justification to serve God, saying things like, rich people are proud and arrogant and they cannot serve God with all their heart. These same poor people also expect to receive gifts, favor, and help from rich people when the time comes. They equate poverty to lowliness and humility, and yet turn out to be the rudest, proud, and most judgmental set of people in existence. Number 4, poor people live in their wishes. Poor people want to be rich, but their wishes do not match their actions. They spend all day daydreaming about the time that they will become rich and how they will do this and that, but never get into the action or show commitment to being rich. The perfect quote for them is, if wishes were horses, beggars would ride. If wishes were all it takes to make any and everything happen, then even the poorest, laziest people would have all they want because they'd spend all their time wishing and fantasizing and nothing more. Rich people, on the other hand, match their words with action. They do not stop at praying or wishing for something to happen. They take action to make what they want to come true. They are dedicated and committed to achieving success, and they stop at nothing to get there. Their actions speak louder than their words. You can tell by their actions where they are headed and what they want to achieve without hearing their voices or being loud about it. Number 5, complainers. Poor people are always the first to see something negative to complain about, and apparently they never have solutions to the problems they discover or complain about. Complaining attracts negativity, and because they are always complaining, it is no news that they share bonds with negativity. They complain about everything, from the government and government policies, to academic and social institutions, to the systems, and even to financial institutions like banks, tax offices, and organizations that give out loans. They complain of everything and everyone without a solution to solve the problem. Rich people, on the other hand, find their way out of problems. They operate just like the water that flows from the Himalayas. Instead of getting obstructed by the rocks, they flow by the side and keep moving. They do not waste their time on their obstacles or limiting situations. They'd rather spend their time figuring out solutions to their problems or how to walk through them. That is why rich people buy assets to pay off, or better still, escape paying taxes, while poor people never get by, living from paycheck to paycheck after their taxes are deducted. Number 6, playing safe. Poor people never take the initiative to step out of their comfort zones and create the life they want. They always live and remain in the illusion that something bad will happen to them if they step out of their comfort zones. They are the perfect description of Proverbs 22 verse 13 that says, "The slothful man saith, there's a lion without, I shall be slain in the streets." They live their lives in fear of what will happen if they go out to pursue whatever they want, and they let that fear cripple them from actually taking action. They never go out to at least test the waters. Their lives are the perfect description for social constructs and standards of playing safe. Go to school, graduate from high school, enter college, pursue a degree, get a 9-to-5 job with a comfortable pay, save up for retirement. This is not the kind of mediocre life that God has called us to live as Christians. Rich people, however, are quick to take the bull by the horns. They even enjoy taking risks, but they do it with logic and calculated strategies. They are more explorers and adventurers and always end up getting the best out of life because they know there is more beyond what they know or have. Number 7, play not to lose. Poor people play not to lose. They do not focus on winning. They'd rather focus on just staying in the game. This makes them play more defensive than strategic. Instead of focusing on ways to win, they focus on ways to stop their opponent from winning. They'd rather spend time obstructing or reversing the moves of their opponent than devising strategies to outsmart their opponent. In life, these poor people never find ways to become better. They will do everything else aside from trying to do and be better. Rich people, on the other hand, are more strategic with their moves. They are not focused on their obstructing their opponents, but on devising better ways to outsmart them. Their focus is winning, and they are always looking forward. Poor people, however, are focused on what is happening behind them and trying to change or stop it. What they do not know is people respect success and will only respect them when they get to the finish line successfully. Rich people stay focused on winning, while poor people stay focused on distracting the rich from winning. That is the difference.